So here today we have a guest that really honestly doesn't need an introduction. This is someone who has made a name for themselves and established a name for themselves very quickly and actually have done it in a way that is very much outside of the box. It's been something that's been controversial, of course, but it's definitely something that gives a lot of room for people to be motivated and definitely learn a lot. So today we have Terp reviews. We have the voice of the trap. How's it going?
Yo, appreciate that. That was a good introduction, bro.
Thank you.
Shit.
I need to work on
Yeah,
them.
you gave me chills.
Honestly, this is the first intro I've actually done. This is like the first person I feel definitely deserves an intro like that. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that shit, bro. For real, for real.
Hell
So
yeah.
I don't want, and let me start this off. I don't want anyone who ever watches this to ever think that I let any clout or fame or opportunity that comes my way cloud my judgment and change my character. I'm very appreciative of every brand that's ever tapped in with me, ever believed in anything I've done. And I even appreciate the non-believers, the people who spoke enough crap about me that it made me relevant. So thank you to everyone.
Hell yeah. I think it's all in the bigger picture. All the people play a big factor. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But where are you actually coming from?
I am originally from the Bronx, New York. I was born in the Bronx, and I lived. And then after that, my parents moved to this neighborhood in Queens called Palmanac Houses. It was this project complex, basically the project. And from there, we ended up moving back to the Bronx, and yeah, from there, I'm a Bronx nigga. I'm a Bronx and Queens nigga. Put it like that.
When you were growing up in New York, do you think that shaped your outlook on life? Do you think that being from New York made you somewhat of a person that you're chasing something greater than everyone else? Something you're striving
But
for
no,
a
I,
dream?
I wouldn't I wouldn't want to give all the credit to New York because anyone with an innovative mindset could come up with something creative and become successful at it. But I do want to say that being from New York does create tough skin and it builds personality. Like New Yorkers, so to say, even in the dirtiest, grimiest neighborhood, like New Yorkers are still cleaner than most other ghettos and other places and other states. Like New Yorkers prioritize, I guess, their looks more than their actual situation.
Hell yeah. I definitely have
You
noticed
know
that
what
as
I'm
well.
saying?
Yeah. New York it's like a very interesting place to be honest. I love going out there because it's like a land of its own. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
It's definitely everyone has it seems like everyone is very different but similar. You know what I mean?
People, because it's very cultural. It's
Yeah.
very cultural. New York, you have neighborhoods for Chinese people, for Indian people, for the Latin community, for like you got neighborhoods you can get in where you fit in here. It's very easy too.
Do you think that because of how many people are out there, it kind of forces people into a position that they have to figure out a way to stand out?
Absolutely. There's so many people out here that you have to do something that's completely outside of the box in order to get some attention because everybody's trying to do something and everybody wants to win.
Hell yeah.
So, you know, in order to execute that win the right way, you would have to definitely think of something that nobody else is fucking doing.
Definitely. When you were young, were you someone who was very creative?
Absolutely. I always was a real crafty person. If there was something to learn, I'd learn it and I'd dedicate my time to it. I do have ADHD. That's something that the doctor diagnosed me with when I was a kid. But I guess, like, I just can't multitask, put it like that. But if I'm focused on something, I'm going to get it fucking done. I just can't focus on too many things at once.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a
You
that
know?
you could definitely get sidetracked. I'm similar in a way when it comes to my learning process, and it kind of forces me into a route that is not similar to anyone else's, and it's definitely great because if you learn how to play your cards right, you can definitely find your way into a position that's actually going to be fulfilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it just comes with honestly, it just comes with maturing and prioritizing shit. So learning how to prioritize shit was one of my biggest problems, and I think I've learned that now. Thank God. I know when to be, when not to be. I know when it's time to fucking focus up and get this work done, and put the bitches and the fun to the side. I know, like I've learned how to balance life. At first, when I first started blowing up, it was like the celebrity life. Everybody stopping me, taking pictures. I'm getting invited to all these the fucking places that I would have never got invited to before. I'm meeting all types of bitches and getting all types of money I never got. So it was kind of a dope experience, but it's still happening that way. But I'm learning how to like balance life now. Now I'm just like fuck the party and fuck the going out. Let me stack this money, focus up on this work because the real goal is if I'm gonna continue to be a content creator, I don't wanna have to be out here doing other things but that. So if that could bring in real revenue, like let me focus up more on that.
Hell yeah. It's definitely it's a lane that not a lot of people are taking serious. A lot of people are trying it. Everyone's dipping their toe into it, but I've definitely been able to see that you've taken it a lot more serious than a lot of people in this lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like for the past month I've been slacking a little bit, but I just life gets in the way. There's certain shit that has happened that I don't even want to speak on. But things are back together and things are in order, thank God. Just all I'm gonna tell people is that when you getting money, make sure you priorities. Make sure car, house, XYZ priorities. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what I did. As soon as I can get money, make sure I got a few cars. I got two cars and a decent place to stay. And that's more important than looking fly and trying to keep up with what everybody else is fucking doing. Focus on yourself.
Hell yeah. It's definitely it can only go so far. If you're trying to fake it till you make it, it could work, you know what I mean? But it's also something that could be a very bad situation if it doesn't
No,
work, you know?
it could definitely work. Don't get it fucked up.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of people who fake they made it, but it's just like just be real with yourself. People are gonna appreciate like not people. I don't know. People love fake shit, but I appreciate when people are genuine. Like even like my favorite rapper and shit. Like when I see videos of them interacting with their fans and they're humble and they appreciate their come up. I love that versus an arrogant ass nigga who don't appreciate shit that God blessed him with. That he just here acting like the world owed it to him.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's the thing. I think that it goes a long way too. People, as much as like some people might be turned on by thinking these people who are kind of arrogant are like the ones to use as like a role model, in the bigger picture everyone sees that the humble ones are the ones that actually find the happiness. They are the ones that actually have longevity in whatever game they're playing, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, because I know sometimes people might say I might come out a little arrogant or like walk around with my chest out, whatever, like or act like I'm the biggest. But it's like it's not even really that, bro. It's just that like I'm confident in what I'm doing at this point. It's like I'm at a point in my life where others' opinions it really doesn't affect me. Like I'm so comfortable in my skin that I really don't give a fuck if they think I'm straight, gay, bisexual, a fucking terp smoker, a Reggie smoker, anything they could say negative about me. Oh, okay, I'm like Eminem at this point. I am whatever you say I am. You know
hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Exactly.
Like,
And that's the way you have to be. You have to, if you really have confidence, that's what it is right there. You know what I mean? If you believe in what you're doing, then that is what it is. A lot of people they're faking it and they start falling over themselves because they literally don't know what their next move is because they haven't seen the other guy do it yet. You know what I mean? It's
nah,
they're
honestly, I don't know. I to be honest, I know what my next moves are, but I didn't know until I met a really good team. Shout out to Empire Genetics, and I don't want to talk too much on this, but Empire Genetics, they're really good people. They have a really good product as well, and when I needed them, they was there for me, and like we are about to see big things coming from us. I fuck with Empire Genetics to the day I die. Same thing what goes with Candies R Us. Those two brands I take with me to the grave.
Hell yeah, I think I've heard of the Empire's one. But let's
Yeah.
go back to the where did you actually get your hustle from? Do you think that it was the days that you were spending in the Times Square?
Yeah, like when I was younger, this is a little backstory on me. Um, I can't make a long story short because this is a fucking story to tell, bro.
Let's
Make a long story short, yeah. When I was a kid, I was a really bad kid, so it got to a point where no school in New York City would accept me because I was just really violent, bro. Like I was just really angry out at the world, and it really had a lot to do. Like when I was like about 10, like my mom's and my dad split up, and I was really angry about that, because I was a daddy's boy. I was always clinging to my father. I always wanted to see how he did his construction work because he had his own like plastering company. He used to like do a bunch of jobs in people's houses and take me with him. And like I used to admire how he did shit. I wanted to be like my dad. And then just one day, like him and my not just one day, him and my mom used to get into a lot of shit, and they split up. So from there on out, like I guess I just didn't know how to express my anger and my disappointment in the situation. So I just used to take it out on everybody around me.
hell yeah. I definitely I know
You
what you
know,
mean. Yeah. But do you think
and
that
at that age, come on, bro. At 10, 11, 12, 13, those are the ages where you going through puberty. You're transitioning into a young adult, and like you need a man's guidance in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's
definitely
important at that age.
you need someone to discipline you. You know what I mean? You need
Mhm.
someone to tell you what's wrong and what's right. And at that age, it's like of course a female could do it, but it's like just being honest, like a young male's probably not going to take it as serious. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
even if it comes with like a slap or whatever, it's just like at that age, I feel like the rebellious nature has to be kind of handled by a man, which is sad.
Yeah.
Sadly, like
Especially when you're a boy, like
yeah,
there's a lot of bitch ass niggas because they dads wasn't around.
hell yeah,
So that's why when I have a kid, I'm not I'm whether me and the mother, because also, bro, I gotta sometimes mothers make it very difficult for the father to see their child. They try to hold everything over their head. So at this yeah, so at this point in my life, I'm understanding the fact that two unhappy people not gonna stay together over a kid. They just gotta learn how to co-parent, and that's one thing my parents didn't know how to do until like I was a little bit older. I guess they had some time to heal.
what do you think the biggest lesson from a situation like that is for you leading forward to an up and coming? If whenever you have a child, I don't know if you do have a child or not, but if you ever have a
I don't
child,
have any kids yet.
well, if you ever do, what would that life experience lead you
That
to
life experience would lead me to like the day that I do get a woman pregnant. Um, to actually marry the woman and do my best to never cheat on her and not break our family. And if me and the woman do split up, it's already gonna be an age where my kid is gonna be grown and in college, and that shit not gonna affect him as much because I did my job as a father already.
was that the issue with your father?
Yeah, my father, like he up and left to Florida, and like he didn't like abandon. Like he still would send some money, pick up the phone. I went to Florida to try to live with him a few times, didn't work out. But it just I guess now I'm just stuck with a lot of unanswered questions because he died in 2018. So
Oh,
like there's certain things I guess at a younger age I didn't really have the courage to ask him, and now that I'm like, damn, like I want to tell this nigga off, and he's
yeah.
not even.
Well, I mean, it's like it is unfortunate, but there's always room for lessons. I think, and it's unfortunate because you can't have that conversation now and like actually let it be known how you do feel because you you now are in the position where you probably could even guide him in a way that could be beneficial. You know what I mean?
Nah, fact. But basically, because all the shit that I went through as a child, I guess when that happened, I ended up in a group home because I kept fighting in school, fighting teachers, getting restrained. Like I was like acting like a real ed kid, bro.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where no school in New York City would accept me unless it was like a residential placement. So now I didn't end up in a group home because I got a neglective mom or bad parents or nothing. I was in it through the board of ed, so I was basically home every weekend. Um, but from Monday basically to Friday afternoon, I had to be in that shit to go to school.
Hell yeah.
So I was around a lot of kids though that was actually like way worse than me. And it brought the worst out of me at one point. Like, I'm in there now getting into fights over kids stealing my shit, like getting into real, like I'm running in niggas' rooms, having to fight people to get my shit back. Like it kind of like made it unfortunately makes you ready for jail before you ever even go to jail. So like when I actually went to jail as an adult, I was like, this shit just like the group home. I already knew how to move in there, and it
Exactly.
sucks because that shit really it really institutionalizes the youth. You know?
It does. It's sad because like all the DYS programs and all that shit. It's like you would think that they would have it figured out by now. You would think that they would have it like set up where it's actually gonna make sense. But people are just in there fucking. Just you have so much time that the only thing to do is kind of start problems in a way. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah, and then when you're that young too,
hell
you
yeah.
got all that energy, all those mixed emotions. You don't know how to deal with. Of course, you're gonna display it in a negative manner.
Hell yeah, it is. It's sad, but it's like it also there is the opposite situations though, where like people go into situations like that and they kind of I don't know, you know what I mean? Like they figure out how to like not just use their time in a way that is going to be insanely beneficial, but it's like some people become monsters at business after that shit. You know what I mean? I feel like that could be
Matter of fact,
something that happened with you as well, you know?
but what happened with me was when I got out of when I ended up in the group home situation, that shit happened to me when I was like 12.
Oh
But
wow.
after 12, yeah, after 12, when I was like maybe 15, almost turning 16, I ran away from a group home in Yonkers called Leak and Watts. Because they had like this inpatient and outpatient program. Inpatient was like the kids who had to sleep on campus, and outpatient was all the kids that just dead ass went to school there, took the school bus or took the public transportation to school there. Um, I met this girl that I don't even want to shout her out. She a sloth. But I met this girl though, and I had ran away. When I ran away, I was staying with her crib in the Bronx for mad long until like basically I couldn't. I didn't want to be with the bitch no more. So there was this other girl that I was in the group home with that I never did nothing sexual with. Me and her never did nothing. She wasn't ever even my type, but she was really cool. She was actually just my friend. And I hit her up on Facebook and I was like, yo, I'm out here fucked up. I'm about to be homeless. I don't know what to do. Can you like I need a way to make some money. I need a place to stay. Can you help me? And she was like, "Yo, go to Times Square and link up with my baby father. They call him Mongo, but his real name is Joel." And I was like, "Oh, I bet." I was like, "What he do?" She was like, "He be out there selling comedy tickets."
Oh wow.
I was like, "What?" I was like, "Selling comedy tickets." I was like, "All right, whatever. A job is a job. Like, let me try to go make some money." So I went out there. I was out there for like a whole day and a half, almost 2 days, asking everybody out there, "Yo, you know Mongo? You know Joel?" Like the nigga didn't show up for like 2 days. And to the point where other niggas who sell tickets and hustle out there thought I was like his op or something. They thought I was probably looking for him
Yeah.
until he finally showed up. When he finally showed up, I looked at him. I was like, "Yo, you Mongo?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You able?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I just ran up to him and I gave him like the longest hug ever. Like I knew him all my life. Cause at that point he was like my life savior. I was like,
Hell
"Yo,
yeah.
thank God." And like he hugged me back, no homo, and he was like, "Yo, don't worry about it, little bro. I got you. I'm gonna help you out, bro." He was like, "Look, here's a Comedy Central sign." He gave me a Comedy Central sign and
Wow.
20 comedy tickets. And he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna show you how to hustle these." He was like, "Get in all my stops tonight, and I'm gonna get in yours and help you close them so you don't fumble no bags tonight." I was like, "I bet." So My first night out there, bro, I made $80. He made like 200, but I made $80, nigga. I'm new. I'm I go from zero to $80. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So after that, I'm just outside. Nigga. I slept on the fucking train that night, bro. I didn't even tell him I was really like homeless yet. I slept on the train that night. I was slept on the train for like the next 2 months actually after that. But I went to Times Square every single day. I made anywhere from $100 to like maybe 200-300 on a good Friday, a Saturday until my hustle started getting better. But then by the second or third month, I was up like maybe maybe like 3, 4K, 5K even. And I was like, yo, bro, I'm like 15 at this time. I'm about to turn 16 in like a month. And I'm like, yo, Mongo, bro, I want my birthday present to myself for me to get my own crib, bro. But nobody's gonna give this shit to me because of my age. I was like, yo, can you please put this shit under your name, my nigga? And he was like, hell yeah, bro. Ah, da, da, da. And Mongo put the crib under his name for me. And from there, I was like 16. I was 16 years old with my own crib, with a job that I. The way that shit grew is that I started meeting all different types of people in Times Square, all different personalities, and I have to be charming in order to sell these tickets to them. You're basically selling your personality to these people, because 9 out of 10 times they give a fuck about the show. Like you sold it because of your personality. So I was able to now, I made a living now off of selling tickets and selling weed. I was meeting tourists in Times Square. Sometimes they might want something else besides weed. And I know who got it, but I'll upcharge them and make my numbers on it. But Times Square is what turned my hustle up, turned me into a savage, and it helped me make the maximum income. It got to a point where I wasn't just making 200-300 off of tickets. Now I'm making like 700-800 a day on a really good day off of tickets and my hustle. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Wait, what comedy store were you doing it at?
But there was a few, bro. There was a few. It all started with Ha Comedy Club, HA Comedy Club, Ha. And then after Ha shut down,
Oh, I know
the
it.
owner of Ha Comedy Club, shout out to him. He was actually one of the people who helped me get emancipated and become my own legal guardian.
Wow.
He he is an older Italian guy too, and he showed me nothing but love, bro. But he owned that club, and he went to court for me, and he was like, yeah, he worked for my club for X amount of time. He lied and showed me fake documents and told me he was XYZ age. I didn't know, but by the time I found out, it was already too late. He's already of age, and he's actually responsible. He has his own apartment. He does this and that, and he went to court and spoke for me, bro. And I was able to get emancipated. Now, in all this time, I didn't go back to my house or speak to my mom or much family, because that's the first place where this group home shit and all that was gonna come and look for me.
Hell
So
yeah.
I stayed away until I could become my own legal guardian and not have to go through all that shit.
That's crazy, man. Were you, when you were at the comedy? Are you into comedy? Are you like actually like a big fan of comedy at all?
Yeah, I'm super big fan of comedy, but the lineups of the show wasn't always the same. They always
Yeah.
switch up different comedians. There's some comedians that's actually blown up from these shows, bro.
Is there any comedians that you were seeing around there when you were young that are actually like
Yeah, of
famous now?
course, bro. I've even seen from fucking Chris Rock to Cedric the Entertainer
Wow.
to motherfucking bro to Tina Fey to Lee Evans before we found out he was racist. All of that.
That's the thing. I think that there's like a lot of comedians coming out of New York that are actually insanely funny, but I don't know. I feel like New York has its own like own comedy in a way. You know what I mean? Like they.
Nah, yeah. I mean, New York, whenever it came to fashion, entertainment, whatever it was that was trendy, they found their way into it.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm a big fan of a lot of comedians coming out of New York, so that's a cool story because there's a few comedians that
We're again.
have like a similar story to that actually.
My bad. You was breaking up, bro. Say that one more time.
Were you one of the people that was like yelling for the tickets, basically.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, that's the thing. I've heard there's a few other people that like came up doing that, and it's I feel like that's like such like a New York thing. That in like California, they have comedy, like a cool comedy scene, but that is that's very unique. That's something I did not expect you to say. That was how you like got into that. But when you were on the in Times Square, how did you get into doing the body painting?
Because one of the girls that was out there actually doing it with someone else at the time, I ended up like bagging her, and she was like my girl for a while. Like we was together almost 5 years, bro. And I basically like we was going through like a financial situation, about to get evicted from our crib and all that. And she was just like, "Yo, why don't you just come out here and paint me, and we'll get some more girls, and we gonna get this money up because it was legal to be out there naked." You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And yeah, I just started doing that. Like, I was already in Times Square. All the hustlers out there already respected me. Like, I've already had years of hustling, doing other shit out there. So it was just a no brainer. I already had everybody behind me. So it was just like, yeah, let me fucking get it. Let's do this. Maximize whatever profits I ever made in Times Square doing something else. Everyone else, all the other hustlers and street niggas that be out here hustling is already cool with me, so I'm safe doing this. You know what I'm saying?
hell yeah. Was there anyone doing that before you?
Absolutely. There's a guy named
Well,
Mason doing it before me.
well, because I was gonna say like when I was going through your Instagram to like see to make questions, and I was like, this is something that I was surprised by. I haven't whenever I've been in Times Square, I never actually seen that, but it's not something that would actually be out of the box. Like it makes sense with all of the other different entertainment, like human entertainment in Times Square that is like amazing how much money some of these people are making. Like some of those people are
Hmm.
making insane amounts in there. You know what I mean? They're just in Times Square.
That's a fact.
But what was like the biggest thing from Times Square that you learned? What actually helped you in the bigger picture from doing stuff like that?
What helped me in the bigger picture, it just showed me how to deal with different people. It showed me how to like interact with everyone and find interest in build people's like find whatever they find interesting and build that interest, like because like let's say somebody walks by and they'll have a Red Sox hat on. Like I'll start naming places in fucking Mass that I lived in. Like, oh yeah, you from Mass? Oh yeah, I'll even lie and say, oh yeah, me too. I'm from Mass too, man. Yeah, I grew up in Dorchester. I've lived in Roxbury. I've lived in Brookline. I'm really like they'll be like, oh yeah, me too, man. Yeah, man, well, look, man, I'm selling these tickets. I live in New York now. I'm selling these tickets. We got XYZ on the lineup. There's a 2 drink minimum. Like, I'll build their interest. I'll just, like, just regular human manipulation.
Hell yeah. And a lot of the times like I've heard like a lot of the people like doing like saying that like trying to sell like the comedy tickets, they'd always say like, oh, Dave Chappelle's gonna be in tonight, and then there's like just some random guy who's like the headliner, you know what I mean?
That happens.
Because it's, I mean, you gotta upsell it, you know what I mean, you gotta
That's
like
not funny.
there's situations sometimes that like people will show up too, so you know what I mean, like they're not all the way fucked
Yo,
too,
the
you know.
Dave Chappelle shit is comedy, bro. That's not funny. We used to say that all the time.
Really, yeah. Like that's the thing. Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle probably was always like the.
Yo, what? I'm surprised they haven't sued us.
What can they do though? You know what I mean? That's like the dope thing about New York. New York finds every which way they can to fucking to make some money off it. You know what I mean? But
That ass.
let me ask you this: was there ever a situation that you seen in New York when you were doing that that was just like some crazy situation that was just like a wild story?
Well, the where somebody was hustling and like a wild story.
Yeah, like just anything. Like maybe it doesn't have to like involve you, just like any wild story. You know what I mean? Anything that was like shareable.
Nigga, I could tell you a million stories, bro. I could tell you stories.
I could
I
imagine.
could tell you. I could tell you stories of people crushing up fucking Tylenol pills and telling people that it was snowfalls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can tell you all type of shit.
I can't lie
You
though.
know
That's
what I'm
that's the type of
saying?
shit that happens though, like everywhere though. Everyone's like selling like cut up piece of paper saying it's acid and shit back in the day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
like
what?
I'm not saying certain words because I don't want the videos to get flagged. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Nah, I thought that would
But
be a good
yeah,
question
for
just to
sure.
ask because like I feel like in Times Square there's when you're walking through there, it could be any day. You're gonna see something that you're just gonna turn. It's gonna turn your head. You're gonna snap your
Oh
neck.
yeah.
You know what I
You're
mean?
gonna be like, holy shit, I can't believe I seen that.
Yeah, like what the fuck? And it's gonna be something that you would have never imagined. You know what I mean? That's like why
Uh-huh.
I love the videos or the Instagram channels where it's like the Bronx antics or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like
Nah,
it,
yeah, them shits be mad funny.
it's hilarious. It's almost like mind blowing because it doesn't seem real. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But with that being said, why do you think that rappers play a huge factor in people's influence on what they're gonna pick for their weed selection?
Because that's their inspiration. Like a lot of
Rappers.
times, whatever rapper is more my bad, the train,
No
but
worries.
a lot of times is a popularity test, you know?
Hell yeah.
Like even like think about why even I got relevant. Cause I kind of made it cool to post what you smoking again. Started being corny now. Everyone's like, everybody smokes weed. Who gives a fuck what you posted? Um, like I made it cool against it. I'll be like, yeah, this is what I'm smoking on. Turp review said this is valid.
Do you
You feel
think?
me?
Yeah. Do you think that there's like a lot of reviewers now because of that? Do you think that you
Oh yeah, bro.
kind of?
No, there's no denying that. Come on, bro. You asking me a question you know the answer to.
Oh, I
You
know.
know
I
there's
know.
mad. You know there's mad other reviewers now because of me.
I
And I
told
don't
you.
even want to say no names, but you know who they are. We all know who they are.
Yeah. I told you they're stands. To be honest, I think the people are stands because they're almost making
It's cool.
themselves
It's cool
this.
though. I'm not even like I'm flattered by it. It's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
I embrace it. I'll even do a video with them. I don't even care about it. It's just like there's opportunities out here for all of us. But I'm pretty sure everybody knows who started it. I don't have to say it.
What
Like
actually what actually gave you passion for the plant?
um just I knew that there was this transition in the cannabis industry happening and I had to figure out a way to get my end.
Was it basically like the legalization that influenced you to get into it more?
You said what?
Was it the legalization of it in New York that had you get into it a little bit more?
It was really the spray that made me get into it. It's like once the
Well,
spray shit came out and all this weed is sealed, it was just like, yo, I gotta like I could have a voice behind this. I was just watching the Keith Lee video and he just raided some food and shit. I was like, ooh. And I was just like thinking about it. I was just looking at the two, looking at my phone, looking at the weed. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna be the Keith Lee of cannabis.
hell yeah. I know what you're talking about. He's definitely someone who kind of inspired me to do reviews in a way as well, actually. So that's interesting that he inspired
Yeah.
you. That's funny. That do you think spray terps are here to stay though?
I think it's phasing away, but it's just gonna be an acquired taste now. It's gonna be people have to just specifically want that, and they do. The younger community 100% does. So it's gonna be around for a while, but that doesn't mean that natural good flower is going anywhere. That isn't going anywhere. That's here to stay to the end of time.
When you say spray terps got you into doing media, what do you mean by that? Like, why did that give you a voice?
Because not many people were aware of it. It was something different. See, like I said, people love different. People love innovativeness. People love to see something they've never seen. And a lot. of other places besides New York have never even seen those the sprays or the or let me say the correct term, terp infused flower, and that's what gave me a voice. That's what allowed me to like excel in what I do because the awareness was at an all-time low. I feel like I brought the awareness to an all-time high now, to the point where brands are now specifying on their bags whether it's sprayed or not.
Do you think that the whole non-terp infused thing is going to hurt a lot of brands?
No, if anything, it helps them profit more because you got to spend less money on turp and shit. Now you could just put really good flour in nice, fancy looking bags, and you can sell it. It's 300 less a piece that you would have to even fucking spend.
Well, the reason why I ask if it's going to hurt them is because you think that it's going to show that they were infusing it with terps when some of them were saying that they weren't.
I don't think nobody was denying that they spray it with terps.
Hmm.
I just think that they weren't vocal. So
Yeah, fair.
I don't think that withholding information is a lie.
That's fair. I get you. I see what you mean because that's
Withholding information isn't a lie. I just didn't tell you everything.
hell yeah. That's fair. We basically left off at a part that I want to cover going further, but I'm going to ask this one question one time. Um so basically when it comes to spray, do you think that the only telltale sign is just like the nose and like that's basically it?
Well, when it comes to spray, the total the tough sign is basically like it's being too true to the bag. When something is too true to the bag it's promoting, that's a red flag. Now, before, like there were brands like Sprinkles where when we were indulging, we weren't aware that it was sprayed. We just thought it was some really fire shit that they had the best grow, XYZ. Once there was awareness, I guess people's perception of shit started to change.
Hell yeah. So do you,
Sprinkles got rich off of basically withholding information. They didn't lie. They just didn't tell us everything.
yeah, it's smart in a way, you know what I mean? Because realistically, they don't have to tell on themselves for them to get to where they've got to. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
they got rich before everyone found out.
Hell yeah, it was they definitely played their cards right. You know what I mean? I think it's
Absolutely.
I think it's definitely something people can't necessarily hold against them, but they have to hold against themselves for not educating themselves to know better. You know what I mean?
That's a big, no, that's a big fact. But also, most of the time, people aren't connoisseurs.
Yeah,
People are just consumers.
yeah.
So for the actual connoisseurs who actually love the plant, understand the process it takes to create the plant and grow it, um, we know fucking better.
Do you
You
think
know?
Do you think a lot of the stuff that's sprayed, do you think that it actually tastes like it smells?
Yes and no. Honestly, bro, the quality of the flower that's turned actually makes a difference on the experience.
Fair.
Like if you terp some fucking mids, people are gonna notice, bro. More so people are in it, yes, for the flavoring, but they still want to indulge in good quality flour because bad quality flour still will fuck around and give you a fucking headache. You still gotta pick a seed or two out of it and shit like that, you know?
Definitely. Do you think that there's going to be any health consequences that come with sprayed weed? Do you think that there's going to be any long-term health effects?
Give me 1 second, bro.
Yeah, no worries.
They're taking a picture of us. My bad, bro.
Yeah, no worries.
A ver, vamos. Está tranquilo. Saludos, ¿verdad? ¿Y el del beso? Yeah. All right. You can talk to me, bro.
Yeah, so basically, do you think that there's going to be any long term health consequences from this?
We don't know. There may be, as we saw with vaping, people started getting popcorn lungs, and people started vaping. They thought it was an awesome alternative for cigarettes. It wasn't.
No.
Um, we don't know. You're gonna see.
Fair.
Gotta give it about 4 to 5 more years, and we'll see. Like I've had complaints of people saying that they started getting chest pains. Myself, I can't tell you. I can honestly say there's times where I felt like maybe my chest hurt, or I got my throat hurt, and I'll go a week and stop smoking spray, and I'll go back to fucking normal.
Hell yeah. Do you, do you think that why do you think it's so common to see it in the so-called hood? Why do you see it in those areas?
Because as fucked up as it sounds, the hood is the most misinformed. The hood is the least educated. So now they're enthused just by the flavoring. They don't give a fuck about the health effects. Um, just the same reason why every other drug is more popular in the hood, like crack, heroin. You know, the only other drug I can possibly say that dominates maybe the white community is crystal meth.
Fair. Do you think that would you say that the reason for it being, or do you think the hood is the guinea pig for it because it is something that is easily disguised, it's easily something that can be tied to certain celebrities and used in a way that is gonna be manipulated?
I mean, absolutely, absolutely. The reason terpenes even started is to manipulate.
Hell yeah.
You're manipulating a flower and fooling us to think that it tastes a way it doesn't.
Yeah. So do
So
you
yes, this is a way to see if the hood is receptive to it. If the hood brings in the most money in any drug, let's see if the hood likes it. If the hood likes it, let's continue to do it. If they don't, then we won't.
yeah. So they're basically like the just like the guinea pig. They're the useful tool in a way in this scheme.
Absolutely, bro.
So when it's do you when you look at the game, how should I say this? So when you look at the game that sprayed is, do you think that it is going to be something that is actually beneficial or harmful?
Listen, it's harmful. If it's not harmful, like for your lungs, or if it doesn't do any long-term health effects, it's just harmful for the people who dedicated their whole life to the shit. People who really grew their ass off and failed grows on top of failed grows until they got the perfect candy taste.
Hell yeah.
Like, there's people who literally dedicated years of their life to this shit. And now here comes spray. It's like it takes away all their whole fucking life's work, really.
Do you think you fed into
Value of it at least.
do you think you fed into the positive or negative side of that?
Negative side for sure.
Do you think that there's any way of
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it
yeah,
because I promoted it. I mean, I made it more cool to do. So yes, I take full responsibility. If people who start to get sick, but I indulged in it my damn self. So I didn't tell the people to do anything I didn't do myself. And one thing that God gave us in this world is free will. I never forced anyone to do anything. They did it on their own free will.
fair? So do you think that sprayed is here to stay?
Yes, but it'll never be bigger than natural.
Fair. Do you think that it's kind of at the beginning of the end in a way though?
Yeah, you don't see more brands are dropping non-spray than spray now. It's starting to fade out. I mean, The more people are aware, the less they want to indulge. Think about cigarettes. Don't you see a decline in the youth smoking cigarettes? It's because they're aware.
Yeah,
Before, we were in an aware society. Why would we want to do something that clearly tells us is going to harm us?
yeah. Well, that's the thing.
You know?
I think it was like people were kind of being rebellious, so they were kind of using that rebelliousness to have it as an excuse of why or why not. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So when you first started making videos, do you think that any of the videos had any inspiration from the style that 6ix9ine was making videos? Yeah, fair.
Yes.
Hell yeah. I think that it was. I think it was something I noticed right away. It was something that I think is like very. I thought it was a smart.
Yo,
It's a
you
smart.
a funny nigga for that, bro.
It's smart for using it in this field, to be honest, because it's like a field that is actually makes sense to use it in. In rap, it's definitely dangerous. You know what I mean? A little too much risk for reward. In this field, I feel like it could be utilized in a proper way. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, but the thing is, though, I don't ever want to be associated with the extra shit that he did.
Yeah,
But
of
yeah, like
course.
you know, a lot of my come up was definitely studied, and I incorporated different styles of marketing that I've seen along my way.
Hell yeah. I think he's at the end of the
So
day.
controversy does sell at times, and yeah, bro, I might still do certain things because I just troll the negativity.
Hell yeah.
Like what happened was when they try to make it look negative. I mean, I rode with the punches and stayed relevant by trolling the negativity and not letting it eat me up.
Hell yeah. I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
I think it's also very useful because like at the end of the day, like that it's the same kind of like angle I tried to take. I tried to be a little bit more like stubborn, a little bit more blunt in a way, like tried to be doing the negative reviews, and I just wasn't putting a great spin on it. I think you were able to do it in a way that is not only going to put an impression on anyone that tries to do it in the future, but you also kind of just outdid everyone else where it's just like this everyone has to tip their hat to it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for that acknowledgement. I truly appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. At the end of the
You
day,
know, I'm very thankful for every opportunity, bro. Like, there's times I could genuinely tell you, bro, while I'm driving my fucking car down the West Side Highway, then I'll drop a tear or two. I'll go down memory lane, and there's some dark times in that memory lane, and it feels all worth it now.
hell yeah. I definitely can see that you are someone who well, I mean, hearing your story, I didn't really expect that. To be honest with you, I can fully see, and it makes so much sense to me why you move in the way you do now, because you definitely have a lot that probably you want to live up to. You want to outdo yourself now. You know what I mean? And I feel like that is something that
Yeah,
you
I broke so many promises to myself that it's time to keep them shits now. It's time to make up for that.
hell yeah.
I put my mom through so much stress. I put people that I truly love through so much stress, and I'm just trying to make up for that, bro.
Hell yeah. Well, I think in the bigger picture, you're not only gonna do something great for them, but you're also gonna help a lot of people in a way that you can guide them in the right direction. That's not gonna only be great for the weed community or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, absolutely. All I'm trying to do for the weed community, bro, is just bring some honesty to it. A lot of people go to these weed events as vendors and try to sell us some bullshit. They basically go to these events to get rid of their bullshit.
Hell yeah. I think
You know
it's
what I'm saying? And just in general, people are bagging up. Um, oh yeah, that definitely looks not good. But it definitely like I'm just here to just bring honesty, and some integrity in this fucking game. Everyone's cutthroat. Everyone's about putting themselves first. Everyone puts a dollar sign before actually building a relationship. Some relationships are actually worth more than a dollar sign, and that relationship can make you millions, not just a momentary come up.
Hell yeah. At the end of the day, it's all about relationships. This whole thing is about relationships, and you have to be able to understand your value in that relationship as well, where you can help someone in a way that might not be sudden, it might not be right away, but it might be something that is the food for thought, where you're able to feed that thought enough where it is gonna in the future gonna actually show to be something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's what's the most powerful at the end of the day is if you can actually rub off on someone that's going to show them which direction is actually going to lead them to pureness, happiness, and real success. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro. To be honest with you, bro, I found so much peace in my life right now.
Hell yeah.
Like I said earlier, bro, no one's negativity can bring me down. I mean, no one's opinion of me can bring me down. If it wasn't for the negativity and the positivity, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I'm just thankful for all of it, bro.
Hell yeah. At the end of the day, it's all a blessing because no matter what moment you're in at the moment, you're gonna be able to make something out of it. There's only wins and lessons. That's the way I like to look at life.
Yeah, there's no L. The L is a lesson.
Hell yes. There's always room to learn. There's never someone that's already knows it all or whatever. You know what I mean? There's always room to learn. And that's the powerful thing about interviews. That's the powerful thing about hearing different people's stories because you get to see there's so many different ways of getting to that final place of accomplishment, the place of success, and it's going to be very different for us all what we actually think that is. So it's to be honest, it's really irrelevant on what level you actually get to in the end, as long as you actually find something that makes you feel happy enough to keep doing it, keep chasing. You know what I mean?
I overstand you, bro.
Yes, that's the thing. I think that in the bigger picture, people they get overwhelmed by the the chaos. They get overwhelmed by the media. They get overwhelmed by the stuff and what's actually happening when you're not online is what's important. You know what I mean? What you're
Yeah,
doing.
right.
And I
That's
think
that's way more important, bro.
hell yeah.
Fuck the online shit, man.
One thing I want to say,
Family, your like what's important? Family, your finances, and your freedom. That's the three F's.
yes,
Family, finances, and freedom.
hell yes.
That's what's important, bro.
And I think it's very respectable. It's definitely something that a lot of people are going to when people actually listen to this, they're gonna have a lot of motivation hearing that you've came from a position where you probably were second guessing every second. You know what I mean? You were probably second
Bro,
guessing
I
almost.
had every excuse in the world to really be a fucking junkie, to be a loser, to be out here like asking the world for fucking pity,
Hell
and
yeah,
I don't. I got off of my ass. I knew there were finer things to life, and I worked my ass off to get there. I didn't.
consistency.
I believed in myself when no one did. When you got a great idea, remember, everyone in this world is not a fucking genius, so they're never gonna see your vision the way you do.
Hmm.
Just work on that shit, turn it into fruition, and you'll see everyone fall to their knees. Like,
Hell
how
yeah.
the fuck did he do it? Why him?
And a lot of the
Why
times,
me? You know why? You know why me though? Because there's people that can be way more talented than me, but I don't think they work harder than me.
no.
Hard work always beats talent.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Consistency. At the end of the day, you have to get up every single day and chase it. You can never make an excuse on why not or why. You know what I mean? There has to be some sort of chase towards that final goal. And once you get there, you got to keep making new ones. You know what I mean?
100%.
Because the comfort is what kills.
100%, bro.
Well, in the
You
bigger
know,
pit,
you know one thing that this is just the beginning. I know, I know you guys see that I might have created a wave. I might be the pioneer of something before my time was up, but my time is far from up, bro. I'm going to continue to create the best content that I can for you guys. And if anything is going to elevate in due time, I've already expanded onto different platforms that actually give way more revenue than Instagram, whatever. Um, and I've gotten some great collabs that in the making. Shout out to Fulcrum. Fulcrum is definitely one of the biggest cannabis influencers and content creator that actually never acted funny nor Hollywood with me. He's in a way bigger position than I am, and he reached his hand out, and he's always been willing to help me. So shout out to Fulcrum. He's the only person that I truly feel that does cannabis content that is way above me, and I have a lot to learn from him. And but he's willing to teach me. Shout out to that man.
Hell yeah. I should check out more of his stuff. I've seen him on something. I forget what I've seen him on, but I definitely I see that he's someone who has taken a whole different spin to it and has made a very interesting way for himself, to say the least. He's definitely
No,
someone.
he's very interesting. I love his content, and off camera, he's a dope ass person.
Yeah,
So I,
seems
I I
cool.
like that nigga all around. No homo. He's a dope ass individual, and I wish him nothing but success. And I appreciate him for even contemplating on including me in his success. 'Cause he ain't got to do no collab with me, bro. There's mad other people, but he reached out to me. He saw my movement on my first page that they took away, and he reached out to me and he was like, "Yo, bro, I love what like I screenshotted it. He was like, "Yo, I love your content, bro. Keep it going." And I didn't even honestly know who the fuck he was yet. My
Uh,
manager, whoever was, shout out to my old manager. I still love you, bro. But the person who was my manager at the time was the one. He was like, "Yo, bro, you know who the fuck Fulcrum is?" And I was like, "Nah, bro." He's like, "Yo, this nigga's fucking huge online, bro." He's like, he's been doing shit like this before you. He's like, that nigga's big.
hell yeah.
And I looked him up and I saw his content and I was like, yo, this nigga is dope.
I'm,
And from there, it was just up, you know?
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been on like No Jumper and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's definitely it. I think this lane it's in its early days. A lot of the times people write off the cannabis content because there's been like people like Eric Kahn that have done it for forever, and it's like never really amounted to like real stardom. But I think there's some people who actually have the potential of creating a wave that is much greater
No,
than
it's
just
not about
cannabis.
it bringing real stardom.
Yeah,
It's all about do you have that star quality?
exactly. Because it can also it can
And it
feed
can
into
bring you
different
real
lanes.
stardom if your personality
Yeah,
has stardom in it.
hell
If
yeah.
you have that stardom in you, not everyone has that star quality. But God chooses certain people who have that star quality, and those are the ones who reach stardom. And
Those
sometimes the people who reach stardom aren't so godly.
hell yeah. It's also it's definitely it's not always like it's not always like something that's like gonna be super obvious, but it's some people are definitely gonna be good in whatever field they go into, and I think that's definitely it's amazing to see. That's why I thought it was very interesting to see that you took a chance in this field, and I think that you're definitely someone who's going to have a lot of people try to become you. A lot of people are going to try to do the same thing as you, and whether or
I
not
embrace
that's
them. I don't care about that.
yeah,
Come to me, ask for my blessing. We might be able to do some content together. So don't just try to be me and expect me to love it. If you want that blessing, come to me, bro. I'm a nice person. I'm not gonna be an asshole to everyone. You show me good energy, I show it back. I
hell yeah.
don't care who tries to do reviews. There's enough money and weed for everyone to smoke, bro.
Well,
Um, just if you're going to do content, the only thing I'm gonna say, show some originality. Don't do everything I do. Be the same person that I am on camera, and you're gonna get pulled out on it every time. Not even by me, but by my fan base.
Hell yeah. And I think that's justified. I think people should accept their criticism. It's just as much as a review actually holds weight, criticism in that could hold weight depending on how you interpret it, I guess. But let me ask you this one last question. Why do you think reviews actually have value?
So what?
Why do you think reviews actually even have value?
Because it lets the consumer and the distros, the people who spend big money on them, it lets them know that the brand is worth investing in or not. You know, we don't know. Even the brands, when these brands are going to buy pound on top of pound, the weed is all still sealed. The fact that all the weed is sealed, no one knows if it's good or not. So before you make your purchase, I would suggest tapping into a reliable reviewer.
Hell yeah. I agree. I definitely that actually makes a lot of sense because of the it being sealed is definitely a
That's
huge
the
piece
only
too.
reason why. If it wasn't for that, if you can still smell it before you inhale it, I wouldn't even be this relevant.
Hell yeah. I agree. I think COVID surprisingly really affected the cannabis market when it came to reviewers. I think reviewers really gained a lot of opportunities when COVID happened because people not only are just on their phones too much now, but they're also kind of they're not going to be taking those chances to go to events and socialize, you know?
Uh huh.
So the media is very valuable right now and people actually are playing the cards right. So it's something I definitely have a lot of respect for. Anyone putting their time into this and actually helping people see what is valuable definitely deserves respect. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro.
Is there any
And
message you
shout
want?
out to, what I did want to say, although I might seem like bitter or like I don't fuck with them, but I do. Shout out to all the other reviewers. Like I'm gonna say names. Shout out to PPC TV. Shout out to John Wick and KJ.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Lowski. Shout out to Snap and Tote. Shout out to Mr. Freezer. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that's creating their own lane.
Oh yeah.
I have nothing against you guys, nothing but love, positivity, and if there's anything I can ever do for any one of you guys that I mentioned, except you, like all of them know, but except you, like now. Anything I could do, I got you, bro. Any collabs we could do, anytime you might need a flower that you can't get your hands on, let me know.
Hell yeah.
I got you.
Same with you. You know, at the end of the day, I think that the New York scene is going to be a huge piece of the puzzle and is going to be a huge piece of what is actually influencing what's popular. So I think that people like you are going to be a very, very valuable asset to the game, and you're going to be someone who has a lot of power, and it's definitely going to be something people will want to criticize. People will want to hold against you for all sorts of different reasons. It's
And you know
definitely
what when realized my actual power, when I started seeing rich people, people who had way more than me, hating on me,
hell yeah,
trying to like plotting on my demise. Like nigga, you got billions of dollars and you have time to hate on me. That means I'm doing something right.
exactly. That's the thing is you want those types of people to not like you in a way. You know what I mean? It sounds stupid, but it's like I would prefer my haters to be the rich ones, the ones that actually have a voice in a room that's actually gonna have some weight. Because if the right person hears about me and they actually take an interest, it can go a long way. You know
Bro,
what I mean?
I got brands that hate me that I helped build, that I built from the ground. I got brands that were nothing in this industry until I did a review and did content for them and made them relevant. And they hate me and do weird shit.
Hell yeah. Sometimes though, the ones that you have the most disagreements with at the beginning are the ones that help you the most in the end. Like I can use as an easy example,
Yo, dead ass, bro.
easy example though for me is Be Easy. Like all respect to Be Easy, but he's the one that kind of helped me get this interview with you. He's the one that kind of arranged a lot of things to actually play out in a good way for me. So no matter what we had in the beginning, if whatever negative conflict it was, I think that it's all played out to be something that's become a bright thing in the end.
Well, listen, I want you to make this part of the interview a fucking highlight.
Hell yeah.
Be Easy's the biggest. Whoever don't like that nigga, you a hater.
Yeah.
All you do is admire it and copy it. Look, even the spray brands copied him, and he's not even a spray brand. So if you in the cannabis industry right now, give that man some fucking respect. Because if it wasn't for him, you niggas wouldn't be able to make so goddamn much off of your brand.
Hell yeah. He's definitely someone who helps fuel the game for better or worse. You know what I mean?
And I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, me and Beezy, yeah, we're good. We're cool. We've had conversations. He has my personal number. Yeah, whatever. But I can't say I've never met him in person. His quality, his consistency, and his marketing speaks for itself. So anyone who hates on him is the same reasons they hate on me. They're just hating greatness.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason they hate him is because of how honest he is. To be honest, I think the thing is like people really love liars right now. People love people who will sugarcoat
Yup.
shit and tell them it's a popsicle. You know what I mean? It's like
Nah,
people.
he's gonna tell you how it is. He's cut and dry. It's
Exactly.
fuck you or I love you with him.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's why I respect him at the end of the day. Like me and him will never agree on a lot of things, but that's besides the point of what's actually important. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's why I think that stuff like that is actually going to rub off in a positive way for anyone who actually listens to it in like a great in a thorough way, because like me and him did a couple interviews. We didn't fully discuss it, but I think we've discussed the differences enough where it's like it's going to be beneficial for everyone, you know? And I think more people need to do that.
Nah,
Put the pride
that's a
aside.
fact, bro.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yeah, in the bigger picture, I think that this was definitely something that the people are gonna be very interested to hear. I know that anyone who watches this to the end is gonna there's gonna be a few different things that they probably never expected to hear, and they definitely are gonna be happy to hear it. And anyone that comes away from this looking for things to pick on and look use as like hater things, it's usually just a character trait of that person, how insecure they are to throw stones at situations when they actually don't have awareness of the
Bro, I'm
situation.
okay with it though. It's just at the end of the day, I'm not here to be liked by everyone. I'm here to win and like you know to make up for all the losses I took in life. I don't care who likes me, who doesn't like me. You know, shout out to the people who like me, but I don't give a fuck who doesn't like me, bro. Really, that shit it doesn't take away from my sleep at night. I sleep like a baby now. My worries in life are to a bare minimum.
Hell yeah.
Like I know my bills are going to be paid. It's like finances are no longer really an issue. I got other problems now. Money, more problems. There's no, that's really a fucking thing. I got other problems, bro. Solo bien. Can we get two more? Toma.
Hell yeah. I agree. I think that that's in the bigger picture that's like what you want though. That's what everyone's chasing. Everyone's chasing those problems, you know?
Yeah, like I might not be fully financially free. I'm not gonna act like money's completely not a problem, but you know, it's really not. I have other problems that I gotta solve in life, and unfortunately, money can't solve them.
Hell yeah. I think money's just one of those obstacles you have to get around, and once you have enough of it that you can actually have the free time that you want, then you can actually do all the cool stuff you want to do. But you gotta keep your head down in the meantime and get what you need to done before it's too late.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro.
Well, in the bigger picture, is there anyone you want to shout out?
I want to shout you out, bro. Shout out to you
Thank you.
for having me on this review, bro. I fuck with your energy. I fuck with your vibe.
Thank you.
Like, you know, like I said, bro, we're not all here to be like, we're not
Definitely.
here to rub everyone the right way. And some people are just hard to fucking please. And I don't care to fucking please them. But shout out to you, bro. Shout out to everyone who's been inspired by my work and decided to create a platform as well. Shout out to everyone who watches my platform, and shout out to my fucking mom and dad for creating me. You
Hell
know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. That's definitely something that I think everyone's gonna respect. At the end of the day, you're someone
No,
who.
no, 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 no. I forgot. I gotta give all things to God. Shout out to God, to Jesus Christ, to Joshua, fucking whatever you call him in your culture, it's called the same God. Shout out to God, because if it wasn't for him, none of this would be possible. He keeps me safe from myself. He I swear I'm my own enemy. And God keeps me fucking safe in all my poor decisions. So thank you, Lord Jesus, keeping me safe in every obstacle of my life.
Hell yeah.
That's the first shout out I should have made.
When you were young, were you always into religion?
Well, yeah, I grew up in a Christian household for sure. But I've
Hell yeah.
had my fair share of experiences in life that, if I had any doubt, it's been wiped away.
It proved to you that you have to believe.
You
I
know what
agree.
I'm saying? I got my fair share of experience also with evil, and you got to know when there's yin, there's yang. When there's good, there's evil.
Hell yeah.
So
Hell
if
yeah.
you can't fucking see a ghost and not think, if you can see supernatural shit like that or a shadow, some shit you know wasn't supposed to be there, you can't not think that there's also good. You know, if that exists, good exists too.
I agree. I agree. I think that religion is something that is very much it's super powerful, and I definitely respect anyone who finds themselves in that position where they are looking to a religion as something to guide them in a way that's going to be in a positive. You know what I mean? It's definitely something
Nah,
that could be very
nah.
great for you.
It's always got to be meant for positive. You know, some of the biggest wars in the world have been started over religion. And religion's supposed to be over positivity. If people put their own narrative on shit and become extremists over certain shit, and that's just not the way it is, bro. I
Hell yeah.
respect every religion, but yes, I am an avid believer of God, and I give him thanks for everything.
Hell yeah. I definitely respect it. I think that I think this is going to be something that's very powerful for anyone who hears this, and you definitely have been someone who has obviously been able to get the attention of everyone, and for better or worse, you're able to show people what is out there, and I think that is it's very powerful. People will people will remember you forever. It's going to be a huge piece of the puzzle, and
Yo, I just got chills when you said that shit, bro.
it's true. I really do think that people are gonna they're gonna have to, you're gonna be someone people people look at later on in life, and they're gonna be like, this person was obviously someone who played a huge role. We could say it like that for sure. You know what I mean? You're someone who obviously is not necessarily promoting something that's all positive, but it's you have captured it and you have taken over in a way.
Yeah, and just know whoever might think is not positive or whatever, I have a positive intent behind it. I mean only well. So those who might get a negative perception, take that out of your mind. I come with nothing but good heart and good intentions. You know, I'm not trying to fuck no one over. I'm just trying to be I'm just trying to be the news caster for marijuana.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, with
News
anything,
reporter sort of thing.
I think with anything pure, there has to be some negative that comes with it as well. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
There's always gonna be a yin and a yang, as we know. You know.
100%.
But much respect for your time. I definitely, if in the future, if you ever have anything that you would want to promote or anything, I would love to let you have that opportunity.
No doubt, bro. I appreciate that, man.
Hell yeah.
But I'm gonna finish up my meal here. If there's any other questions you want to ask, you could definitely hit me up tomorrow. We could further this interview. But thanks a lot for having me, bro.
Definitely. Much respect for your time.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah. Stay blessed.